In this video, I'll be doing an oil change on a 2020 Ford Mustang EcoBoost. Before I do any oil change, I like to run the engine and get it warmed up. Not super hot, but warm. That way, the oil flows much easier. On the EcoBoost, up top, you're going to see the dipstick and your oil fill plug. This vehicle calls for 5W30 oil. I like to take the cap off before I drain the oil, because that allows the oil to drain faster. And for safety, don't forget your jack stand. So this right here is your oil filter. It's on the driver's side of the engine. So here's the oil drain plug. You go left from there, and there's your oil filter. And basically, to take that off, you're just gonna turn it counterclockwise. I am using Autocraft oil filters. I'll put a link in the description below to all this stuff. Now you do want to oil the gasket. Since the mounting plate has a bunch of oil on it now, I'm not going to go ahead and do that separately. I'm just going to go ahead and screw that back in till it touches. Once it touches, you're going to turn it about 3/4. You don't want to over tighten these, because then you might run into problems when you go to take it off. There's your oil plug. That's a 15mm. It's a good idea to check your plug, make sure there's no problems with the threads on the plug itself, and make sure the oil seal is good too. If there's any noticeable damage on the plug, I'd recommend you replace it. Last thing you want to do is strip out the oil pan. Once it's done draining, put your plug back in, and you want to tighten it to about 25 foot-pounds. If you don't know what that is, use a torque wrench. Now that the oil filter has been changed and the plug is back in, we can go ahead and remove the jack stand and the jack. Now, this vehicle actually calls for 5W30, but according to the manual I have for the vehicle, it also recommends 5W50 if you're using the vehicle on the track. I'm putting in 5W50 full synthetic motor oil. But if you're just going to do everyday driving, I would go with the 530. I'm a little rough on the vehicles when I drive them, so I figure I'd go with what the book is recommending for higher performance. So I'll go ahead and put in 5 quarts, and then I'll quickly check the dipstick and see where the level is. Pull the dipstick, wipe it off. On the dipstick, there's 2 dots or 2 holes in the dipstick. That hole right there, the first one, that's the low level. The second hole, or the top one, that's the full mark. So if the oil's anywhere in between here, we're good to go. And it's still low. We're gonna need another quart. And we're about in between those 2 dots. So that's good enough to start this up, get the oil flowing, fill the oil filter, and then we'll come back and check it again. Now that we ran it for about a minute, we can go ahead and check the oil level. Wipe the dipstick, make sure it's clean, put it in, pull it back out, see where we're at, and she's low, so we're going to add another quart. And let's check it one last time. And she's right on the full mark. So we are good to go. Put your cap back on. Make sure your dipstick's in properly, cap's in properly. Run it for another minute or two. Check underneath, make sure there's no leaks, and you're good to go. That is how you complete the oil change on a 2020 Ford Mustang EcoBoost engine. Any questions, comments, put them down below. I'll put the links to the products that I used in the description box. Subscribe to the channel, share and like the videos, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you're notified when a new video comes out. Thank you all for being here with me today. God bless. I wish you peace, joy, and happiness. Bye-bye.